Welcome to today's video where we will be reading different Reddit stories from Am I the Butthole, and you will be watching deadsinz play Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Today's first story is brought to you by Permanently Confused. Am I the butthole for stealing a baby name? So my best friend is about 5 months pregnant. When she first found out, we had fun brainstorming names together for both boys and girls. When she found out she was having a boy, we were thrilled and she settled on the name Josh. I'm not gonna lie. As soon as we knew it was a boy, all the other name options kind of evaporated from my head. Maybe that makes me a crappy friend, but it's the truth. Then last month, I found out I'm pregnant as well, and at 10 weeks, now I'm far enough along to take one of the at-home gender reveal tests, and we are having a girl. We are so excited and settled on the name Ada, that my husband and I love, and is a family name for both sides of the family. When I told my friend, she was extremely upset because Ada was the girl name she wanted to use. Again, I frankly forgot. It was months ago, and we had talked about several other girl names that she wanted. Now, she won't speak to me because she's convinced her next baby will be a girl, and they're already planning on calling her Ada, so I'm stealing their name. I understand that it's hurtful that I forgot their hypothetical girl name choice, but does that really make me the butthole here? Okay, time for my opinion. So I do not have a child, and I have sort of a similar situation where my sister chose a name for her child that was our mother's name, and she never asked me or even talked to me about it. And I still do not have children, and my niece is like 10 years old, or well, more than 10 years old. And honestly, I was a little hurt at first because I thought, you could at least say something like, hey, I'm going to name my child the name that you probably would have chosen if you had a daughter. But that's not the point. The point is that she had a daughter, and she knew she was going to have a daughter when she chose to name her daughter that name. And there's no use of you not naming your kid something because of the what if possibility something might happen in the future. Next story is brought to you by Twin Drama 543. Will I be the butthole to not have my sister as maid of honor after trying to outshine my engagement? So my twin and I have always had this low-key competition going on. She always had to be the center of attention. While growing up, I just gave up and let it happen. It was easier than fighting. Never got to have my accomplishments recognized because she would always have something that everyone needed to attend to. Family get-together is all about her, from how much money she makes at her new job or how horrible her boss treats her so she quits, to how her life is so difficult and we wouldn't understand 8-hour job with 30-minute commute, or how easy my life is because I just go to school and work part-time. She is very narcissistic and never thinks about how her actions or words affect people. She started dating a guy last year, and he proposed to her after only dating for 4 months. I'm not hating. I've seen marriages last quite a while after dating a short time. They were supposed to get married in May 2020, but you know what happened. Instead of postponing, they got legally married without a ceremony. Since then, they have canceled their ceremony 3 times. Last week, my boyfriend of 7 years proposed. I was super excited. I called my family members crying with the news. Not even 48 hours afterwards, my sister started sharing pictures of her and her husband in a photo shoot saying, since she is never going to get the wedding she always dreamed of, she decided to get these done as a gift for the family. They were hastily done photos done by their friend and not a professional. Here's where I may be the butthole. I told my mother that I don't want my sister to be my maid of honor for my wedding. I don't want the potential drama of her saying, if I would have had a wedding, I would have wanted to do this. I don't want her comparing us because it would just cause drama. My mom is upset because I was asked to be her maid of honor. The way I see it, my sister could have just waited and saved money to have her dream wedding. Really feel like I can relate to both of these stories I read so far today. So this one had family member that went and eloped, and many years later they did end up having a wedding. it was almost a very similar situation to where the person always kind of wanted to make things about them. In my opinion, at that time, we were all very young and immature. And that's just it. This is just a huge immaturity on her part. You do not have to have her involved. I mean, you could just tell her you want her. She's going to be important to you because she is your sister. And then sort of leave it at that. And if she wants to be involved and come around and do bridesmaid stuff with you, it should just be you and your friends. And if she's not really your friend, I mean, just because someone is blood related to you does not mean you have to include them in everything. Though it would be nice if you could bridge the gap with your sister in some form, but it probably won't happen until she grows up and matures. But, you know, that's just my opinion. Next story is brought to you by a throwaway. Am I the butthole for asking for an apology from a mom in front of her kids? I, a 25 female, am traveling for work and staying at a hotel. I was sitting in my room and I hear yelling and screaming from the other room. It sounds like there are people running into walls and the TV is blasting. I am used to some noises in hotels. It is only natural. And this was excessive, to say the least. Over the next hour, the noise continued, and based on it, I could tell it was at least a mother and her children. I knew this because it seemed like every 10 minutes the mom would knock on the door, telling her kids to let her in until I heard the door finally open, then slam shut, and the mom yelling at her kids. Then the door would open and close again, and 10 minutes later, there would be knocking to be let in again. After an hour, I heard a knock and thought it was on my door, so I checked. It was for the room next door. It was guest services telling the mother that 911 had contacted the hotel because her room number was calling repeatedly. The mother didn't say anything, just closed the door and guest services left. Another 30 minutes of this routine and I was done. So I asked to be put in a different room for the remainder of my stay. They were very accommodating and moved my room and upgraded me. Already aware of the trouble that room was causing, I went back to my original room and packed up my stuff. It's now about 9 at night and I leave my room suitcase in tow. The mother from the room next to mine was out in the hallway. She stops me and asks if I had heard her kids making noise. I was honest and said yes, I heard them. Then she asked if that was the reason I was leaving, and again I told her, yeah, I needed to be able to sleep for work. She told me to wait because she wanted her kids to apologize to me. I told her this was not necessary. I understood things like this happen, and because I do not want to prolong this experience anymore. She keeps insisting and would walk in front of me if I tried to leave. Then she called her kids into the hallway. There were 4 of them, and the oldest could have been no more than 9. Then the mother lectured them about how their actions had affected me and ruined my night. Then made each of them apologize individually. I decided to be pleasant through this because the kids did not deserve a bad attitude from me. I accepted the kids' apologies but was immensely fed up with the mother. Then I turned to her and waited. She seemed lost. I told her that her actions were not acceptable and had ruined my night, and I needed an apology from her. She was to properly watch her children. She hustled her children through the door and began telling me that I was a butthole for saying that in front of her children, and it was not my place to have such opinions. I knew arguing would get me no further, so I just walked away. I could hear, however, as I walked down the hallway, her banging on the door again for her kids to let her in. Okay, so I know I'm not a parent yet, but trust me, I have been in situations where I am in charge of children, and I am responsible for the children, and the parents trust me to care for them. And you have to have boundaries. You have to have discipline. You have to have a line that's yes, no, you can and cannot do things. Kids are smart and they're like sponges. So if they're misbehaving, you very, very rarely are you going to have a child with a deeper issue than them just needing tough love and discipline. And kids are going to fight back. They're going to push boundaries, but you just have to hold firm as parents. Tough love is love. I mean, we all have to be a part of the society, right? Oh man, I cannot stand being in a place where all the people around you, they don't care if you sleep or not. That's just my opinion. Thanks for joining me today on this kind of quick video. I thought I'd give it a try. If you like it, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Maybe I'll do some more later on.
Four people not got a kill.
We have the lead.
Mag change.
Moving now.
We've lost the lead.
Drag out.
Enemy at the destroyed building. We've taken the lead.
Sending rocket. Sending rocket. Reload. Kill the hostile.
Vamos a...
Throwing flashbang.
Enemy at the destroyed building. UAV ready.
Reload.
Precision airstrike ready.
Target marked. Cleared for strike.
This is Phoenix 3. Good copy. Strike inbound. Impact. No kill.
Reload. They're moving.
Setting a mine.
They're almost down.
Enemy marked.
Not out.
Looks good. Re-engaging.
Halfway there. Keep fighting.
On that position.
One down. Reloading. Enemy at the cave entrance.
Reloading.
bitch.